Hello, good morning, everybody, or good mid-morning, good early morning. How are you? Today is day 2 of Align, a 5-day reset. I'm so glad you're here. Oops, I got some background. Hold on a second. All right, I had to mute myself on the YouTube channel, which I am going live there as well. I'm going to put that on my phone. So if you are on YouTube, let me know. You can chat and comment in the YouTube channel. All right, so today's day 2. Had to mute myself. So, how'd it go? Were you able to practice one thing or check back in with your breath during the day? Let me know. And use your Facebook group to ask questions, get comments, get support. We're all in this together. All right. There's one thing I wanted to say before I began. Well, let me start with what's on my mind. I just finished my own personal practice. So I have actually my class. So my teacher lives in India, and because of COVID, I've been able to practice with her online twice a week since the beginning of COVID in my home. Whereas prior to COVID, I had to fly to India to see her. I just was there in September. So it's always lovely to see her in person. But our relationship has just grown and deepened, and my practice has grown and deepened because I have that twice weekly class with her. And today what we worked on were some deep shoulder openings, or really advanced pose that I rarely practice. And I was thinking about the relationship we have with pain, and when pain can be good and when pain can be bad. And I know you're all here because you have pain in your neck, pain in your shoulders, pain in your wrists, maybe fear of doing something, or maybe you've done something, gone to the gym, practiced yoga, don't want to do certain things because you're afraid you might fall or hurt your wrist or your shoulder, and then you can't work. And so we have this protectiveness, which is important. I call it cautiousness, but it can get in our way. And then some of us have what I call courageous, but maybe to the point of fault, where you're putting yourself in situations where you can become injured. So I'm going to say 2 things that kind of contradict each other, but they're kind of the same. And that is, as interpreters, we need to be cautious about the things that we do with our body because we use our body for our work. At the same time, our mistake is not moving our body. And when we confront pain, as I did this morning in the rotation of my shoulder, and I discovered, yes, I have tight shoulders, but man, I didn't realize another level of tightness that was there. And as soon as I got to that point and had the courage to move through it, there was a lot of freedom, but it didn't feel so good. And so our mistake is not moving the body. Our mistake is not understanding which is good pain, which is bad pain. And if we aren't intelligently getting a little warning signal from my camera, I hope I'm okay. If we aren't courageously, progressively developing the courage and progressively moving and opening the body in new and different ways and challenging its limits, what ends up happening is we limit our movement. And that is no good. So there is pain that is informative that the body is sending us a red flag signal to do something about it. And there's pain that can help you move forward. And then there's pain that is that red flag, is the body saying, slow down, take another avenue, get some help, support yourself, go to the doctor. But not understanding the difference between those two, or it's really a spectrum, is a problem that we have. Because when you can build up the courage, as I had this morning, to move past, and the courage I have is I have faith in the practice because I've been doing it 25 years, and I have faith in my teacher who's been with me for a long time. And so what happens is freedom comes from moving through the good pain to the other side. And this is hard to know as a beginning student. It's hard to know as an interpreter who has a lot of pain and a lot of injury and a lot of fear. It's hard to know on your own. And some of you might fling yourself into this program or that. I'm guilty of this, and get yourself injured. I'm so guilty of this. And then some may do nothing. And I've heard that too, like so much fear that you just stop doing. And that's not okay either. So we often, I and many of us need support, a teacher, a guide, a coach. And this is what I work with in Thrive in the one-on-one program, because it's at your pace. So not moving is a mistake. The other thing that we do, because it's not just the pain and tension from the actual signing or the movement. And if you're not an interpreter and you're watching this for whatever chance you landed here, any sort of using your mouse, computer, any sort of physical massage therapy, whatever movement you're doing that's causing you repetitive injury. But it's not just that. And it's just not tightness and irritation or over flexibility or lack of strength, but it's also not knowing how to let go, how to release, how to, for interpreters or after a job, we take on a lot of other people's stuff and we don't know how to let that go. Or we're processing how we did on that job. And some of us have such negative, critical process. So that's not helpful. And that leads to pain and tension. And the other thing some of us do is we just shut down. We just like, boop, 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 we shut down. And that's not good either. You're shutting yourself off from yourself. So we need a way to move intelligently and to progress fearlessly with awareness, with a way that develops your awareness. So a way that helps you understand the language of your body. And a way to let go and process after work in a way that isn't beating yourself up. Something that's, all of this is about what's going to move you towards growth. And so you might want to take a moment now to think about what are the things you're doing, whether it's the physical work, your physical activity, your process of your own work and interpretation or whatever work you are doing, your evaluation of that. And where are you moving towards growth and where is it going the other direction? So we need also a way to acknowledge our own personal values and boundaries. And we know that by understanding the language of our body, because when we are in a situation where we're crossing our own boundary or we're coming up against our own value, we'll feel it in the body. And if you're used to just shutting down as a way of protecting yourself, then you aren't connected to those signals, to that language, to those signs. And we need a way to relax and let go at the end of our day and to let go what's not ours. So we're going to start with that today. Okay, so yesterday we began with just connecting to the breath. And today I'm going to add a count to it, which I sometimes like, sometimes don't like. So I'm going to use them both for you. So ground your feet on the floor. If you're sitting on the floor, that's fine, or your feet on the floor. And sit up tall. And if you need to put something behind your back, like a rolled up sticky mat or a big pillow, so that you can sit up tall. So you don't want your spine. This is the energy of your body. Look at the shoulders are rolling forward. I mean, you can just feel, if I sit here, you feel an energetic response to my posture. So I want you to sit up tall. Sit up on your sits bones. Place your feet on the floor. Your hands can be palms down, which is grounding. Close your eyes. You know, I want to say something that you might feel just from practicing what we did on day one and practicing it yesterday, that you're sitting up taller more effortlessly, even a little bit. Notice if your shoulders are rolled back, your spine is is ascending more effortlessly. Now bring your attention to your breath, and you're going to take a nice, smooth, steady inhalation. And as you exhale, exhale into your hips, your legs, and your feet. Now we're going to inhale on a count of 4, and you're going to exhale on a count of 8. And I will count, but don't try to force yourself into my count. If your 4 is a little bit faster, your 8 is a little bit faster or slower, stay with yours. So I'll do a couple out loud, and then I'll be quiet. So we'll take an inhalation on 1, 2, 3, 4, and an exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a regular breath in between. And then on your next inhalation, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now do 2 more on your own. And when you're done, slowly open your eyes. Now, isn't that amazing? Like just a short period of time and how much that calms you down. This is a much better place to be and to make decisions from, and whether those personal decisions or professional decisions or interpreting decisions. And you can do this at any point of your day. That was literally 4 breaths, 4 rounds of breath. And you can do this to quiet yourself, to calm yourself, to connect, and what I like to say, to come back home. All right. So on this relaxed state, I want to continue to talk about sleep. And then we're going to add on to our yoga asana routine. And so have you noticed, or do you have like a midday crash where you just want to crash out? Or craving sweets or lots of carbs? These are, or maybe you're having the desire to, or you're taking very long naps during the day. Now, I'm not talking about when you're ill. Okay, so we're putting that aside. If you're sick or you're dealing with something, we're just talking about regular old life. These are signs that your doshas, remember yesterday I spoke about doshas are the energies or the elements of everything around us. And we ourselves have either pitta, well, we all have kapha, pitta, vata. Now, just to review, vata is air and space, pitta is fire and water, and kapha is water and earth. So don't get too caught up on names from Sanskrit if you don't, but it is just elements, which we can all relate to, the elements that are around us. And so you yourself have a one, maybe one dosha more than the other. Most of us have a mixture of two. Few of us are balanced with all three. And these change over, we have our natural, the one we're born with, our tendency, our natural prakruti, our natural constitution. And then our time of life affects which one is, we're always in flux. So when you're younger, as a child, your kapha is higher. When you're an adolescent, it's pitta. And when you're in the later age of life after 50, really, adolescence up to 50 is pitta, and then 50 beyond is vata. So just to say that they change over time. But if you're experiencing crashes, cravings, needing a lot of sleep in the day, that is a sign that your dosha is out of balance. It's called vikruti. And it's normal that they're out of balance. Living our lives and the things I'm going to be teaching over these next 5 days, and we're focusing on sleep, is to bring yourself more in alignment with the natural rhythms, starting with the circadian rhythms of our sleep, which then balances our own natural constitution. So, not sleeping is kind of a form of torture for those of you who are not sleeping and you're just like, oh, I don't get a lot of sleep. It's really important that you get good sleep. And if it feels like it's elusive and you haven't been able to sleep, don't give up. The next few days, continue to adjust your sleep times. So sleep at 10:30 and waking up before the sun or at the sunrise, depending on where you are. So 6:30, maybe a little bit earlier. And don't get too freaked out if you're way out of the range. I want you to move that range. So if you're going to bed at 1, I have a student who was going to bed at 1 and 2, and she just kept pushing it back each week. And even that has brought her back in alignment. She has still a ways to go, but she's getting sleep now. Finish, here's an example of what you could do. Finish your last meal of the evening at 7, make that a light meal. And then use 7 to 9:30 to do your hobbies and spend time with family and friends and have nourishing conversations or playing music or, getting in writing, drawing, meditating, journaling. And then 1 hour before your bedtime, turn off all devices. And I'm going to do this with you. Turn off all your devices. I'm going to admit, since I moved homes and everything's been out of whack for me, that watching a movie or TV before I go to bed has gotten to be a habit, and I'm going to break it. You can do it before 9:30, and then during that time, you take a warm shower or bath. This is where you might put on some calming music, meditate, gratitude journaling, and abhyanga is the Sanskrit word for a full body oil massage. And it can be a partial body oil with warm oil. And I want to share this with you a little bit more in detail in the upcoming days if it's something of interest. Traditionally, it's part of your morning routine, but I've put it at my evening routine because it calms the nerves. It calms that vata, that sort of frenetic energy that a lot of us have from being on devices, from being stuck in traffic, from processing all day long. And even if you massage your hands and feet with warm sesame oil, you will absolutely feel a difference. All right, so put in the comments here or in the Facebook page if you want to learn more about this. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to switch over, because now we're going to continue. We're going to repeat and then continue our wonderful asana practice. So you'll need that belt if you have one, and you will need, oops, a chair or a wall. So I'll put my chair here. Oh, it's moving around to find me. How do I turn that off? Uh-oh. Okay, let me switch to my camera because I don't know how to turn that follow. This is a new camera, and I just got it, so I don't want to take the time to figure that out today. So we'll just switch to this one and get going. Okay. All right, good. All right, so we're going to start. Okay, it's still doing it. Hold on. It's on the wrong camera. Thought it switched. Here we go. All right. We are ready to go. What is this that's in the way? Okay. Let's move this forward. Okay, so come stand. I'm trying to get this piece out of the way. I think I'm just going to move this to here. Oh, I see why. Here we go. All right. Oh, that was interesting that I could get the other camera. All right, sorry about that. That's good enough for right now. Okay. So you're going to take your arms out to the side, and we're going to turn the right arm as we did on the day one. Keep turning that arm. I'm just going to turn a little bit more light on because I switched cameras, so it's a little less. And then now you're going to add your left. So you're going to turn your palms up and down, and not really your palms. Rotate those upper arms. Really move those upper arms, and then turn your palms up and the arms up. Turn your palms out and take the arms down. As you bring your arms up, have a little bit of resistance through, sort of like you're going through honey, and lift your back up. And then exhale, take the arms down. So I think on the last day I said lift your thumbs up faster than your, and if I didn't, lift your thumbs up faster. Good, and then exhale, take the arms down. Okay, now interlace your fingers. So the right index finger's on top, turn your palms out, and lift your arms up. Now, if that is too much on your shoulders, you use your belt and separate your arms. Just means that your shoulders are tight and you need some space between your hands. Press your feet into the floor and lift the heel of your hand up. Exhale, take your arms down. Change interlock of your fingers. Now, some of you are really flexible, so you're going to press your thumbs, or you're going to really press too much in the fingers. I want you to reach the heel of your hand up and try to pull your fingers apart. This will help you find your shoulder muscles. And then exhale, release the arms down. Because we are going to be working on strengthening as well as we're doing stretching. I think that's a good spot. Okay, now let's do our shoulder circles. So your arms are going to come around, and if you have a belt, where did I put my belt? Let's say you don't have a belt, but you have like a jacket or a sweatshirt, and you're going to take your arms back and around. This is pretty, so you want to make it pretty long. If you have tight shoulders, you're going to have to open it up more. Inhale as you come back. Now today, take your arms behind you and reach the belt or the strap or your fingers back behind you while you move your waist back, thighs back, buttocks forward. Open up the front of your chest, and then release your arms down, and then take the belt, place it off to the side, and observe. So like I said, this is like one of the most important parts of it, is to observe how you're feeling afterwards. Oh my gosh, you can breathe so much better. Okay, now you all have a wall, I'm sure, in your space, and you're going to take your hands up the wall. Let me come over here so you can see my feet. And you're going to be far enough away from the wall so you can sit down and walk your hands up. So watch, I'm not leaning forward towards the wall. I want to keep my torso as up. So here I'm going towards the wall, but I'm going to take my buttocks down and walk my hands up. And then come up and slide down. Walk up. Each time I come up, I press the heels into the floor and lift my legs up to come up. And then down again. And then walk my hands up. And then now the hands on the wall, kind of like a suction cup them to the wall so that you don't just slide down but resist them up as you sit down. And then walk your hands further up the wall. Descend your buttocks down and walk your hands further up. Press your heels in the floor, come up, release your hands, take a nice breath, because you're probably feeling that a lot. That pose is called Utkatasana, and Ut means intense. So we're going to do another pose that has a similar name, Ardha Uttanasana, which is half intense stretch. And you can bring your hands on a chair. This is a pretty low chair. Or on a wall. I'll show both. We're going to I walk my feet back. They're hip width apart. And now I push the chair forward as I move my hips back. It's very important that my legs they're actually active. I'm gripping them to the bone. And then I come forward. We're going to repeat this a few times. If you have wrist issues, the wall is maybe a little bit hard. So that's why I showed the chair, because you do need to bend. My arms are shoulder height. If I have really tight shoulders, I'm going to take them wide. And then I walk back. And again, I push the wall and push my hips back and let the shoulder blades move down. Keep your ears between your arms. And then walk forward. Come up. Now I'm going to invite you to watch me, because there's always these two and maybe more than two folks. So see which one you might be. If you're very flexible, you're kind of here, sinking in your shoulders and your back. You are going to have to really move your hips back and let your shoulders come down without sinking in your lower back. Okay, so that might be you. Then the others are here, where your upper back is really tight and you're stuck. So you widen your legs, you widen your arms, and then you push the wall, and the idea is to extend your spine. So push your hips back, push the wall, and feel that spine extend. So go ahead and repeat that one more time, or two more times. I'll do it on the chair. So you walk back. Now everybody lift your toes up and push your thighs back, and extend your arms forward, extend your fingers forward. If you're on a chair. If you're on a wall, push the wall. Exhale, move your hips and your thighs back. And then walk your feet forward. Observe your breath. Observe the tallness that you have. And one more time. Walking your feet back. If you separated your legs and arms quite a bit, maybe bring them a little closer now. And move your hips back. Move your outer hips back. Those of you really flexible, I want you to aim your buttock bones a little bit down towards your heels. And exhale. And walk your feet forward. So you notice I gave you a visual demonstration of maybe what your body, I was exaggerating, but what your body was doing. And then you had to kind of see, which is me? Which one was me? And maybe you aren't sure. That's what you learn with repetition and with guidance, is how to recognize and feel and understand what your body is doing and what your body needs to have that length and extension of the spine. Okay, how are y'all feeling? I don't know about you, I feel so much taller, I feel so much more open. Let me just check and make sure that I've got everything that I wanted to teach today. Yes, beautiful. So now we're gonna, each time I teach, I wanna introduce a way to relax the body completely, because I think this is something missing for a lot of us. So you have a chair or a couch, you can just use a couch. Everybody's got one. And you bring your legs, make sure the chair doesn't roll away. And you lay down. Palms face the ceiling. And here's a few things for you to see about your body. One, we'll all do this. Lift up your right shoulder and back, and then pull the arm down so the shoulder blade comes down away from your ear. You have to lift your back up. You have to lean over to the right side and pull the left arm so the left shoulder blade comes down away from your ear. Now the shoulder should be rolling to the floor and your face facing the ceiling. If your back is quite tight, what happens is the shoulders are up and your eyeballs are looking at the back wall. Your head is thrown back. So two things you can do. One, take your hands to the back of your head and lengthen the back of your head away from your shoulder blades. That might be enough for you. If your head is still thrown back, you put a pillow underneath your head and your neck and support your head. In time, your upper back will open and your head will be able to be in a position where your face is facing the ceiling without support. But don't lay here with your head thrown back, because that will not rest your nervous system. I have a student who wasn't able to lay down at all this way. Her neck would go into spasm, and her tinnitus would get worse. We've worked together now for close to a year, and she's able to lay down on the floor without any problem. We're not going to stay here too long today, but when you practice this week, I want you to set your timer for at least 5 minutes. You could do it now if you'd like. It takes a while for the body to let go. And for those who, well, I'm going to challenge all of you. I'm going to invite all of you to do this. As you exhale, let go of anything that is not yours. And you don't even have to name it. Just simply with the intention of exhale. And as I exhale, anything that's not mine and not useful to my own personal growth and it's not moving me forward, then I'm going to let it go. That could be a physical thing, a mental thing, anything, and you don't have to name it. You can name it, but you don't have to. You can actually just exhale with the intention of letting go. It's not mine. Let it go. Exhale and completely let go. Now you're going to take a full inhalation. Like I said, we're not going to stay here too long. If you're not ready, also staying long starts to not be helpful. So you could start with 2 minutes. Roll over to your right side. Roll even more so you face the floor, and press yourself up with your left hand to a seated position. And if this is uncomfortable for you, you can sit on a chair. And this is the most important part. You can keep your eyes quiet, but I want you to check in. Notice your breath, notice your body, the state of your body, breath, and mind. What we did was we connected to the breath, and we did a very short but powerful sequence of asanas. And notice the effect. It's So you're going to feel an immediate benefit to this practice. And then just imagine what it's like if you do this regularly, consistently, over a long period of time. Not only do you begin to unwind the tensions that you currently have, but you then go deeper into the layers of your body and your mind and start to unhook, unwind the knots that you're not even aware of. All right, you can open your eyes. This concludes day 2. So your homework is to practice connecting with your breath, your sleep. Start to continue to work on adjusting your sleep times, and this asana practice that we did today. And I've added on 3 more poses than we did the previous day. So take a moment now to just mark in your notebook and the poses that we did. I will write their names in the Facebook group, and I'll put the English translation for them, but also really helps to have a little stick drawing, and then come back. Forward this video to the asana section and practice this every day until our next meeting. All right. Namaskar to everybody. Namaste, singular. So namaste, and I look forward to reading your comments, reading your ahas, and I'll see you next time.